Good morning. Happy Sunday. Let's open with a chant. Let's chant, connect through chant. Stand if you're so called to. That's a good feel. Yeah, I see you. You're feeling it. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source.
Love is my source.
Love is my power.
Love is my power.
Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Yeah, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Good morning. Welcome to Portland Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Bridget McCann. My pronouns are she and her. I am the senior minister and spiritual director here at the center, and I am so happy to see all of you. And welcome to those who join us in our virtual community space as well. You are a part of us. Today marks 5 days since the murder of George Floyd. 5 years. Did I say 5 days? Okay. Today marks 5 years since the murder of George Floyd. So we as a community now are going to spend a few moments in a ritual to remember not only George Floyd, but many of those who have lost their lives over many years. I will light a candle in memory of them, and then some practitioners and Reverend Marilyn would join me in a ritual which will be followed by a moment of silence and a brief prayer. We light this candle to remember their lives and their lights that they shone to all those who they loved and who loved them. I now invite our practitioners and Reverend Marilyn to join me. Just now stand here so we can line up in order. We're going to honor them by saying their names.
Akira Ross, Daryl Tyree Williams, Tyree Nichols, Keenan Anderson, Sinze Reed, Dante Kittrell.
Victims of the mass shooting at the Tops grocery store in Buffalo, New York, May 14th, 2022. Ruth Whitfield, Pearl Young, Catherine Massey, Hayward Patterson, Celestine Cheney, Geraldine Talley, Aaron Salter Jr., Andre McNeil, Margus Morrison, Roberta Drury.
Donnell Rochester, Amir Locke, James Williams, Dante Wright, Xavier Hill, Vincent Belmont, Walter Wallace Jr.
George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Elijah McClain, Dominique Clayton, Jasmine McBride, Charles Roundtree Jr.
Victims of the mass shooting at Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina, June 17th, 2015. Susie Jackson, Daniel Simmons, Ethel Lance, Myra Thompson, Cynthia Hurd, Reverend DePayne Middleton Doctor, Sharonda Coleman Singleton, Reverend Clementa McKinney, Tywanza Sanders.
Tamir Rice, Eric Garner, Trayvon Martin, Deonta Farrow, Sean Bell, Sharon Walker.
Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Medgar Evers, Emmett Till, Malcolm Wright, Dr. Andrew C. Jackson, Levi Harrington. Your lives matter, and so it is. And now we'll continue with our service. Thank you for joining me in that remembrance. I invite our licensed practitioner, Sandy, who will share some announcements and then open or continue our service with prayer and meditation. Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you. What a beautiful way to remember what we all need to remember. Good morning. My name is Sandy Liebold, and my pronouns are she and her. I serve as a licensed spiritual practitioner here, and it's my honor to be here with you today. A special welcome to anyone who may be here for the first time, in person or in our virtual community space. We have welcome packets. You should get one at the back if you haven't already. And the same information is available for our global community on our website at cslportland.org. Both contain information about who we are, what we stand for, and how we might serve you. On our website, you can also sign up for informational weekly emails, register for classes, and to receive a free gift on your birthday. Just a quick reminder to silence your cell phones or other devices if you haven't already done so. And as I go into the announcements, be aware that all of the times are Pacific time, and any Zoom links will be on our website, so you can always get the information where you need it. Next week, a big event is coming up. It's our PCSL annual meeting. It will be after Sunday service, Sunday, June 1st at 12:30. All members are welcome and encouraged to attend, either in person or via Zoom. At the meeting, Reverend Bridget and the Board of Directors will update us about our community, including our financial status. You'll have a chance to ask questions of our leadership team, and importantly, all the members will be able to vote for 3 new board members. So please, please plan to attend. You may not know, or you may know, that a group of committed volunteers has been at work planning the first PCSL Women's Retreat to be held since before the pandemic. Woo-hoo. I wasn't in this community for that long before the pandemic, but I was told that there were 15 years of women's retreats before the pandemic. So there is a long, long tradition that we are, in fact, reinstating. So that's good. This one will be held October 17th to 19th at Camp Cedar Ridge. And the title of it is Celebrate Spirit as Woman. The committee is excited to give us a sneak peek of the retreat and serve lunch at a special meeting that will be held in 2 weeks on Sunday, June 8th at 12:30. June 8th is also when the registration for the retreat opens up. So you can go online to register at that time, and also you can go online now to let us know if you're going to attend the sneak peek and lunch, so they can make lunch arrangements. There's also a sign-up sheet, I know, floating around in the back of the room. So either way, if you want to learn more about the retreat, come to the sneak peek in 2 weeks. Also coming up is a sacred celebration of the summer solstice, which will be hosted by practitioners Sean A.B. Larkin and Catherine Richer. It's going to be on Friday, June 20th at 7 p.m., both here in the sanctuary and on Zoom. Come and honor the traditions of our ancestors within the context of science of mind philosophy, and experience sacred sounds and contemplative practices. If you haven't been to one of these services before, they're really lovely and very heartfelt, so please come and join. Information on these events and all others are available in your Sunday program and also at cslportland.org. Today we have licensed practitioners Kate Barrett and Doc Wilson serving on High Watch, holding a sacred container of consciousness, both in the sanctuary and for our spiritual community participating virtually. Today, our special music features guest artist Jean Mann, who we will hear from soon, our wonderful friends band. And today, practitioner Laura Perkins has been our community song leader, so welcome, Laura. Today's message, Past is Present, but Not Precedent, is by our own senior minister and spiritual director, Reverend Bridget McCann. Yay! And these amazing, amazing flowers are from Kat Jacobs' yard. And so thank you so much for bringing those for us today. And now I invite you to sit back and relax, because I know that somewhere between this beautiful spiritual community, the music, the meditation, and the message is exactly what your heart came to receive.
God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am. God is, I am, right here, right now, right here, right now. God is, I am.
God is, I am. If there is no other prayer we ever utter, that one covers it all. God is right here, right now, ever present. There's this just one thing that is creating and co-creating everything that we see, everything that we don't see. There is just one thing happening, and it is God, it is Spirit, it is this universal intelligence, it is love, it is the one life living in and through and as each one of us. God is, and I am a divine being having a human experience. I am an emanation of this one. And so is each of us. We are all one with the one. And so we are, of course, one with each other. We are one beloved community. We are one body that is here to express and create and be the arms and legs of this universal intelligence. We are divinity operating in the world. And so with each day, we can choose to bring more and more of this divine energy into our human experience. With each day, we can tune into that divine presence, which is at the very heart of our being, and from that place live our lives. And as we do, we lift each other up, we lift ourselves up, and we truly make the world a better place. And so I know that these words, this prayer, is already being implemented, is already being affected by that one universal intelligence. Each prayer that we utter is answered with a resounding yes by this one God Spirit presence. And this is happening right here and right now. And so I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful to know that. I'm so grateful to share this knowing with each of you, and knowing full well in complete faith that this is already done. I can now release this word, release this prayer, knowing that it is already being done in the mind of God and right here on earth. And so together we say, and so it is. And now I invite you to just stay in this place of contemplation and meditation, this place of peace, feeling this presence that is everywhere present.
So, how many times have we heard, or perhaps even said, it's never been done before, many have tried and failed, it just can't happen, right? Or it's always been this way, it's never going to change. Some things never change. No one in my family has gone to college before. We don't even know how to apply. But then there are those people who somehow have the fortitude to buck the trend. Take the young man growing up in a small town in Indiana on the wrong side of the tracks, as they say. And his high school guidance counselor asked him, "Why are you taking all those math and science classes? You know you're just going to end up working in the factory like your father and your grandfather." That young man would go on to become a nuclear engineer and a submarine commander. Or the study done in the 1960s and 70s, long time ago, that found that only white children and almost exclusively boys, but no black or brown children said, "I want to grow up to be president of the United States." But as we learned in 2008, there must have been at least one little black boy who had that dream and bucked the trend. And in 2020, after the election of Biden and Harris, I'll never forget the excitement of a little young biracial girl who asked her parents, "Did the girl win?" Yes, she did. And she could barely contain herself when she said, "Mommy, the vice president looks like me." I hope that little girl knows that for her, the sky is the limit, and in that sky, there is no glass ceiling. Past is not precedent. We are not bound to always live what has happened before. If past were precedent, we'd still be walking everywhere. There'd be no wheeled vehicles. We would not have electricity. We would not have constitutional democracies. Education would still be reserved just for a few. If past were precedent, there would be no addiction recovery. You are what you have been. There would be no growth. You are your past mistakes. There would be no upward mobility. You are what your family has always been. But principle is not bound by precedent. Life does not demand that we always live in accordance with what has been. Past is present. We carry it with us every day. It is here with us. It lives on in our memories and our stories. It lives on in our individual and family and collective histories that help explain how we got here, right? It lives on in those patterns that we've developed that we fall into whenever we're in a similar situation. Many of our fears came from past experiences. It lives on in those societal structures that have a lot to do with the opportunities we're given, the quality of our schools, the state of our economy. The past lives on in many ways in the beliefs we carry within us, many of which are handed down by family, our schooling, our society, our religious upbringing. Some of those beliefs we develop on our own based on our feelings after certain experiences, and we form certain beliefs about what we can expect out of life. So yeah, past is present. And it can be very helpful. The Peruvian shaman Jorge Luis Delgado is not a fan of this idea that the past is behind us where we can't see it. He's like, no, the past is right here in front of us because we can see it, we can examine it, we can learn from it. This is where the past is. We need to take a look at it. Because, of course, as we know, as we've been taught over and over, history does repeat itself if we don't learn from it. This is true in our lives, and this is true in our societies. Now, I'm not talking about dwelling in the past. I'm not talking about those, and I've been guilty of this. Maybe some of you have too, of retelling the same old story to the point where our family and friends are like, oh my God, here she goes again. That's just living in the past or reliving the past. That's just bringing the pain of the past into the present without trying to do anything about it. I'm talking about what our founder, Ernest Holmes, wrote. We are all human, and we have all made mistakes. The starting point for creating a better life for ourselves is to deliberately free our minds from the mistakes of yesterday and feel that they need no longer be held against us. They need no longer be a liability. Too often our minds are so burdened because of the mistakes we have made that we do not take time to forgive ourselves and others and to start over again. And so it is wise to occasionally review the past and try to find out just what we have been thinking and doing to create this burden in our minds. Now let me take a moment to stop anybody who's starting to go down that science of mind guilt trip about what the heck is wrong with your thinking that got you where you are today. That's not what I'm talking about. Because science of mind guilt is just as useless as Jewish guilt and Catholic guilt, which is what my parents tried to raise me with. It's all useless. What I'm talking about is an honest assessment of our past in a way that can help us correct course, not assigning blame, but taking responsibility. The kind of honest assessment of our past that helps us learn, what mistakes have I made? Where have I gotten stuck in my story? Where have I let others dictate my life? Where do I need to do some forgiveness work? And perhaps most importantly, where am I out of alignment with principle, with truth about myself and about others? That's the kind of assessment I'm talking about. Because without the kind of honest assessment, we all know where this goes, right? The same thinking ends up with the same mess. We end up in the same place over and over. How many of us know that person that has become the parent they despise because of unforgiveness, which results in past being precedent on a generational level until someone says, enough already. We need to look at our past and our pain and do some healing. How many of us know people, and perhaps we need only look in the mirror, that has had the same failed relationship 20 times with different people with the same name and the same mistake? Or wait, I said that wrong. 20 people with different names. That's what I meant to say. Okay, I messed up that one. We have the same relationship over and over, and we keep making the same mistakes until we realize, I am the common denominator here. I should probably take a look at this. Learn where I've been going wrong, all these 20 failed relationships, and set a new intention. Create a new thought pattern for the next time. We do this individually, and we do this in the collective, or we can do it in the collective, this honest assessment of looking at the good, bad, and the ugly, right? 5 years ago, in the wake of the murder of George Floyd, I had hopes that this country was going to do that. And many of us did. Many of us set the intention. More and more white people were willing to face the honest truth about our past and how it still impacts people today. Some people are trying to stop that, but we know that this is not principle, so it will not stand. We will keep making the same mistakes until we come in alignment with principle. You know, earlier in our remembrance ritual, we named the victims of the mass murder in Buffalo, New York in May of 2022. On the day that happened, I was at a retreat for ministerial students. And a friend of mine was there, a black woman, and we had set a date to go walking early the next morning. So I meet her early in the morning, and I say, "Did you see the news?" Instantly, out of her mouth, she said, "Who's killing my people now?" And that makes me tremble. That black and brown people live with that stress every day. That news could have been so many different things, but the first thing she thought of was, who's killing my people now? I pray for the day when we're honest enough and correct course enough that our black and brown families and friends and community members no longer have to live with that stress, where that's no longer their first reaction to, did you see the news today? Past need not be precedent, but it's up to us. It doesn't have to be precedent in our lives or in our society. We can choose to change our thinking. We can choose to break the old mold and make a new mold. We can choose to do this. And there's evidence everywhere for it. You know, the evolutionary process that created us has not ended. It still goes on. It's still creating new species. There are still new galaxies being born. The Mother Earth herself, on a daily basis, is morphing and changing and creating new mountains and valleys and rivers and deserts and forests. This is the way of creation, that we are not bound by precedent. We can always make anew. Each and every human being, each and every one of us is not bound by the precedent of our parents. Thank God I am not a carbon copy of my parents, as much as I love and honor them, right? And it astounds me, the creatives amongst us, the artists and the musicians and the composers and the writers who, despite thousands of years of humans creating art, they can still create new art. I don't know how y'all do it, but I'm grateful that you know how to do it, right? Each generation, every parent wants their past to not be precedent for their children. What parent doesn't want their children to have it better than they had it? Right? It's just the natural way. So we can change our thinking. We can change our attitudes. We can change our way of approaching the world and create new lives for ourselves. You know who are some of the most brilliant and courageous examples of this? Are those in 12-step recovery programs. Talk about taking a courageous look at how you got to where you are. They do it daily. An honest assessment of their past actions and thoughts and beliefs about themselves and about other people and about their God. And they break that mold, they set the intention, they make the new mold with the support of other people. They create a new mold for a new way of being in the world, new relationships with themselves, with other people, and with their God. These people are living angels amongst us, living proof that past need not be precedent. And we have access to unlimited potential. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Principle is not bound by precedent. There is no law in the universe that seeks to perpetuate old limitations, but there is a law which responds to our greater vision at the exact level of that vision." Principle is not bound by precedent. We are one with it. We teach that every Sunday. We just use different words to teach it. We teach that every Sunday. We are one with this unlimited potential. One way to help build this new mold for your life is to daily commune with that divine unlimited potential in what I call a felt prayer. You don't even have to use that many words for it. Just sit there and use your imagination and feel the new life. If you need to use words, you can say, "I am not bound by my past. I am not my past mistakes. I am not my family's past. I am not bound by precedent." And invite in the new. Invite in the new ideas and the new thoughts. And let yourself just feel it as already done and create that new mold. And if you're having trouble doing this, if this seems like it might be difficult, work with a practitioner. That's what our practitioners know how to do. They know you are not limited by your past. They know only your goodness and you're good. So work with a practitioner if this proves challenging for you. And I close with Marilyn Ferguson, who stated, "Your past is not your potential. In any hour, you can choose to liberate the future. Let's choose this hour to liberate our futures. Let's choose this hour to begin making new molds for our lives. Lives based in principle, which is never bound by precedent." Thank you. Let's pray. I invite our practitioners and ministers to stand with me and hold this prayer in their consciousness. God is. God is new every moment of every day. And I am. We are. We are not our past. We are our brilliant futures. We are our brilliant futures. Just take a moment to feel that, whatever that means for you. With gratitude for this truth, with faith in this truth, I simply turn it over to that loving, law that says, yes, my child, it is done, and so it is. Now it's time for our sacred offering. I thank you for all your many gifts, all the many ways you give to our community, the many ways you support our brilliant future. For all of us, those of us who are here now and those who are on their way, we create a brilliant future for them as well. I invite our ushers to come forward. In a moment, they will pass a basket collecting your gifts. If you choose, there's an envelope in the seat backs in front of you. You can use those. And I invite you to accept and bless our offering together as call and response. I bless these sacred gifts, given graciously with love. These gifts heal, bless. These gifts heal, bless, and prosper all that they touch. In giving, I'm grateful to be richly, lavishly, and abundantly blessed. And so it is.
That's right or not?
Hear the crackle on the line in the days we dreamed of moving on. Under billow of shade trees, fields dancing on a breeze, and skies that never end. Oh, the lengths at which we turn into children once again, not to worry. Bouquets of paper flowers, party favors for the girls, if only for a while. La-di-da-di-da-da-da, la-da-da-di-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, good, I didn't even have to ask you. I love this. La-da-da-da-da, la-da-da-da. Okay, good, you're going to get another chance soon. This house that was our home, driving by today feels an intrusion. Who belongs there now? It used to be us, I still remember. Oh, the memories we cull from a deep and distant well of our being. Once a pedestal became an anchor on the heart, now finds its own. Here we go. La da da dee da da da, la da da dee da 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 da. La da 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 da, la da da da. La da da dee da da da, la da da dee da 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 da. La da 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 da, la da da da. Where I live now, eagles sing, teach their eaglets all they need to get going. Launching lake to tree, but to this nest they return again and ever. Sweeping mountains over stream, toting tenderness beyond the days. Tethered to the soul, breathing out love to embrace. Okay, I want to hear you out there in the global community too. La da da dee da da da, la da da dee da 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 da. La da 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 da, la da da da. La da da dee da da da, la da da dee da 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 da. La da 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 da, la da da da. La da da dee da da da, la da da dee da 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 da.
All right, we have a couple community members who are going to share some news with us. Debbie Pettijohn and Kat Hooker.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, exciting to be here and seeing all your lovely faces. So what the announcement is that your beautification committee has been meeting now since February, actually. And next Sunday, the board approved, I have it written here, the committee's board-approved full plan for our sanctuary beautification will be revealed at the annual meeting. And we have exciting changes. I think you're going to love them. And to begin with, the first change is at the request of many people, for more fellowship space, the bookstore is going to be converted into a fellowship space. And so we are having a sale for the next 2 Sundays. We need to liquidate things, I guess would be the word. And so today we're having a 50% off all new merchandise, and the used books are buy one, get one free. And now Kat has something to say.
So with the sale, I just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge our very own Kat Jacobs.
Woo! Kat!
We know her so well from the beautiful flowers she does up front here, as well as many of you may not know the flowers that she does up front as well outside. But I just want to acknowledge her for years of dedicated service, managing the used books in the bookstore, her care in bringing in a steady flow of new books, her creative ideas to keep the bookstore fresh and welcoming, and most of all, her passion for sharing her knowledge of her authors and spiritual literature have been a blessing to this community. So thank you, Kat. And it's also been fun being a couple of cats hanging out in the bookstore. And I'd also like to thank our bookstore cashiers who have stepped up and learned the system with grace and dedication. So Nita Harris, Marcia Hudson, Pamela Jean, and Frances Beasley. Thank you. I'm just saying, together, you all created a space of wisdom, welcome, and spiritual nourishment. We are so thankful for all of you. Come on in and buy books after the store, after the service.
And I believe the sale will continue next week as well. So, all right, but don't wait. And I want to give a thanks to the entire committee. We'll do that also at the annual meeting, but they've put many, many hours into deliberating different options, lots of conversation. We could do this, we could do that. Well, what about this? What about that? And with consensus decision-making, they've come up with a beautiful plan that will be fully revealed at the annual meeting. But know that they've put a lot of time and heart and talent and conversation and deliberation into developing this plan, and presented it to the board last week, which gave it their thumbs up as well. So more to come on that. All right, if you are going through any struggles, you want to help break the old mold, start creating a new life, our practitioners are available for a short affirmative prayer here in front of the platform. There's also a Zoom prayer room for those in our virtual space. Just click on the link and it will take you to a Zoom room where you too can meet with a practitioner. We have the prayer request cards in the back of the sanctuary. You can write out your prayer, drop it in the box, and anytime, anyone can go to cslportland.org and make a prayer request there as well. All prayer requests are shared with our entire prayer team, which is made up of our practitioners and our ministers. And by the way, when I say ministers, there's 2 of us on staff, Reverend Marilyn and I, and we also have 2 community ministers, Reverend Barb and Reverend Kathy, who are part of our prayer team as well. So I thank them. That's part of how they serve this community. All right, I invite you to stand as you are able for our call and response benediction. You ready, Wiley?
Yeah.
All right. Something wonderful is flowing through me right now.
Something wonderful is flowing through me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
And life is in my affairs.
And life is in my affairs.
I think it.
I think it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I accept it.
I accept it.
I am it.
I am it.
Just the way that I am.
Just the way that I am.
And just the way that I am not.
Just the way that I am not.
Know with me that you are never alone. If at any time you feel yourself feeling down, lonely, forgotten, just close your eyes. Feel that inner presence and just let it warm you up from the inside out, because that is the light of your being. And so it is.
So it is.
So let's release and let go together. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more release and I let go. I let Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I feel the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I am. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Happy Sunday.